Tracy and I'm a mortician.
You've got a very lovely flower. And I'm Trish, and I'm not.
And welcome to another episode of
Are you dying to know?
Because Trish is dying to know.
I am.
Look at this, isn't that pretty?
That's a passion fruit flower.
I've never seen one before.
Haven't you?
No.
It's a very passionate flower.
Very passionate. I love it. Oh.
So what's happening today, Tracy?
Picking flowers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Tell the people.
Tell the people. Oh, I've got an ant on me. Okay, we're going on a journey.
Journey far away. Woohoo!
Far away. No, we're heading down to the crematorium.
We're going to take you inside. We've met a nice man. Tracy's teed it up.
Yes.
Lovely man Tim, who's going to show us around.
He is. Yeah.
And answer all the questions we have, you've had, everyone's had about what happens at a crematorium.
Yeah, because there's lots of questions, and I think there's questions that like we want to ask, that I want to ask, and stuff that I don't think I actually, well, I thought I knew, but I actually don't think I do. So, you know, let's hope we answer all your questions, or you may have more questions.
Send them in if you do.
Yeah.
And also this will probably go across a couple of different episodes, I would assume. So we might break it up with some other videos, depending on what we end up with.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, sounds good.
So,
okay, so
you
shall
ready?
we get into the car?
Let's hit the road.
Let's go.
Bye. Hi guys, we're here with Tim from Eco Memorial Park. He's kindly given us some time and is going to give us a little bit of tour of the facilities down here.
Yes, it's exciting.
It is exciting.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for coming on board, and we've got lots of questions.
We have. Neither of us have spent a lot of time at a crematorium, so this will be a first for us, and we're happy to be able to bring some information to you. So we've got some questions that we've supplied Tim with in advance, just so we had an idea of what we were going to be throwing at him. Let's start at the very beginning. Some general basic, well actually, anything you want to share first up that you would tell people who were asking about what you do, your job, and what it entails, sort of in around a little elevator pitch, if you like.
Sure. Well, what we're talking about today is just one segment of what I do.
Yeah.
Our family operates a funeral home, a crematorium, memorial gardens, and a pet cremation business. And we're going to talk specifically today about the crematorium.
Yep.
And I'm with you in the fact that I'd like to be able to support educating the community in some myths that people might think of, and dispelling the fear around what cremation actually is.
And that is great, because that's what we're trying to do with all of our videos as well. And we just want to let the world know that you can ask them questions, and we don't need to hide anything. There's no reason to hide anything.
I don't know about you, but I find it whenever I go out anywhere with Tracy and anybody gets wind of what she does for a job, boom, they're straight in. Oh, do you do this? Do you glue the eyes? Do you do that? Have you ever done this? And do you get the same sort of thing if you tell people, or you don't? You skin it in such a way that people don't know exactly what you do?
No, I can remember as a young person going to parties, and straight out of school I was straight in to doing this job.
That's young,
and you'd go to a party and people would say, what do you do? And you would tell them, and initially they'd sort of stand back and not come, but within the next 15 minutes they're right on.
They want to come back and go,
because everybody's interested.
You have them two people. You have the ones that go, I want to know all about it, or you get the ones that go, okay,
don't want to know anything.
Yeah. What we've done over the last few decades is have open dates at our crematorium.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah, inviting public along to be able to come and see not the actual process of a deceased person being cremated, but the actual machinery and the facility. And,
that is really good.
The gardens and
good. Yeah,
nice.
And that's really good. Yeah, cool.
All right, so basic stock standard questions. How long does a cremation take? Does it make a difference if the person is large or small?
Yes, it does make a difference if the person is large or small. Our calculation, if you like, is 1.6 kilograms per minute is cremated.
Wow.
Okay.
So a 100 kilo person, you can do the maths on that.
I can't do maths.
You're talking to the wrong two.
An hour.
Right.
Yeah, for 100 kilos.
Right.
Okay.
And that may lead into the next questions about gender and the type of coffin and things like that. So the weight of the person is specific to the time of cremation. And the gender is also relevant as
so it's
well.
relative.
Yes.
Male and female burn at different rates.
That's exactly
right.
right. Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, because girls have got bits that boys don't have.
Yeah.
And that's made up of, to be frank, fat content. And that burns at a different rate than muscle. So a 25-year-old fit male in comparison to an obese 50-year-old female, substantially different in the way the cremator will deal with the process. So
Okay, well that's very interesting, isn't it? Because I would never have thought there was a difference with gender at all at different rates, you know.
And the type of coffin as well is specific to the time frame.
So the cardboard coffins as opposed to a big, you know, oak jobby or something like that. What's the difference in time?
What is the difference?
Yeah. Initially, we thought that cardboard wasn't good for the environment because it just disappeared straight away, whereas the timber from the coffin became part of the fuel for the cremation.
Okay.
So the timber was part of the cremation, and that helped the cremation along, whereas the cardboard just disappeared. But we've since, you know, as time's gone by, we've determined that the cardboard coffins actually increase the speed of the cremation because it just disappears so quickly. It doesn't become a thing, but you have chipboard, you know, particle board or hardwood coffin, but the cardboard coffin is becoming more popular.
It is very popular. We do a lot.
Yeah, and we won't cremate a metal casket, a steel metal casket, just because you end up with all the metal waste at the end, and that becomes a problem to dispose of later.
Right.
So what have you ever had those in, and what do you do?
You have to take them to recycling.
Oh, so you still cremate them, but take the thing to recycle.
You have to actually have to take the lid of the steel metal casket off, otherwise the flame won't reach to the person.
To the person inside. Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
And then you end up at the end, and all the cremated remains are inside the metal casket. You need to be able to get the remains out of that casket. So.
Oh, that sounds like not a nice job.
So we don't do that.
Don't do metal caskets, people. Let's do the cardboard and timber.
Yeah.
We'll stick with them, Use them for burial.
Yeah, and on top of the timber coffins too, you've got different types of lacquer, paint and varnish. So.
And what about things like with the chipboard, the like obviously that's glued together, it's like little tiny bits of chip glued together. Is there sort of fumes and stuff that you have to worry about with any lacquer or the glues and that sort of thing?
Not particularly, no, it's all coming out the exhaust at 1,000 degrees Celsius. So.
Okay. All right. Only one body in at a time?
Most definitely. Okay. And once we get down to the facility and we show you around, you'll actually see physically the machine is only capable of receiving one.
And that's good. And that's a question we get all the time from people and me at work as well. We get, do they put more than one in? And I guarantee, like you said, there's only going to be one. And when we'll see that, that's really good. It'll be really good to see that, to show that only one going at a time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. Do you take the deceased out of the coffin before you put them in? So you don't actually see the deceased. You don't deal with the deceased. You deal with the coffin.
From our funeral home perspective, definitely see deceased people. Some of our providers, our external funeral homes, will just deliver the person, and we are required then to put the deceased into a coffin.
Oh, okay.
So we do that.
So, All right, but generally, if you're receiving deceased from other funeral homes around the place to cremate, they just come in the coffin, you put the coffin in.
Yeah, and we never open that. We don't want to open that. That's not our business.
So there's no check that you do, ID checks or anything again? No, that's all done before it gets to you. How do you put the coffin in the cremator? That's probably a moot point given you're going to show us the rollers and everything. But
that's right, Yeah, the coffin is on a hydraulic lift trolley with rollers.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll use a cardboard tube, about a foot long, about that round, and we just put that on the floor of the cremator, and we just roll the coffin in on the cardboard, and the cardboard just disappears away in the cremation process. So.
That's fascinating.
Okay. Are there any other factors to consider? We've talked about male, female and size. Anything else to consider as far as implants, cause of death? Anything I don't know that we haven't thought of?
Implants,
Okay,
hip replacements and things.
Okay, I'm pleased that you brought that up. Pacemakers.
Pacemakers and
any
defibs.
Battery operated medical devices are always removed prior to cremation. An independent doctor an independent doctor comes and checks for a pacemaker, and he will do a physical check on the body or use a metal detector to see if there's anything there.
That's right,
and that must be removed because the battery in a pacemaker is explosive.
Kaboom.
And it can explode and damage the equipment and potentially harm the operator.
Right.
Some other things are knee joints, hip joints. Quite often we'll see glasses frames, watch frames. You know,
Oh, really?
anything that's left like that.
They're left.
Wow.
Right, and so
That's
then what
amazing.
happens to them?
All of the waste metal is sent to a recycler called Ortho Metals in
Ah.
the Netherlands.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hi everyone in the Netherlands.
Hi,
We've got a few
Netherlands.
viewers in the Netherlands.
Yeah, we have,
Okay.
yes.
Thumbs up to Ortho Metals, because what they do is they take that scrap metal,
Excellent.
they recycle it, and they send us a cheque back. And then we talk to all of our staff, and we ask our staff to choose a charity that's close to their heart.
Oh, wow.
And then we divide
That's
that
lovely.
income between all of the charities that our staff choose.
Wow, what a
So-
good way for
Yeah.
deceased to actually give at the end as well. Still, that's really fascinating.
Have you ever
Yeah.
had families ask for them back?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you just take them aside. Are they charred? Are they damaged?
Both.
Yeah.
They're no good for anything.
But you might want them as a
Yeah.
paperweight to remember Grandma when she stopped complaining about her hip hurting.
If you want to,
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I often wonder what they're going to do with them, because we've just recently had 2 people ask for them back as well. So it's just, I don't know how it goes, but yeah, that's cool. And if you want them, that's cool. There's no issue them having it back. That's really good.
Yeah. One
That's
other
good.
thing that's probably prudent to talk about is radioactive implant strontium, and it's for cancer treatment with the little implants, and those implants just slowly let the
Yep.
radioactive material
Yeah.
into the body, and if that hasn't dissolved in its entirety, it still remains in the process. So we need to be very careful to look at that medical cause of death certificate to see if there was any radiation treatment.
Yeah.
Not just implants, but radiation treatment in general,
Yeah.
because that has a half-life, and that can go on. It's in such mild doses that it wouldn't affect us, but
Yeah.
over a long period of time has the potential to be a complication.
So what do you do if you see
Wow.
that on someone's cause of death, or you have a suspicion that they have an implant? Is there something else that you have to do?
Yeah, if that implant is older than 12 months old, we'll proceed with the cremation. If it's newer than 12 months old, we'll consult the family and we'll recommend that they actually bury that person. We don't cremate or disturb that implant.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
Oh, we've talked about coffins burning at different rates.
What
what about all
About
the metal bits and pieces on the coffins? Do
Oh,
they
yeah.
go into the cremator and you
Yeah.
just take them out at the
Yeah.
end?
Yeah.
They're left?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
there are certain handles that we actually will remove, and they are they have a very high zinc content, and we
Right.
take the metal components off because it actually creates a visible pollution with the zinc burning, and that's
Right.
not good for the environment, and it's not good for our people looking at what's going on here as well.
To
with
see
the
Right.
white smoke.
this coloured
So,
smoke coming out.
Yeah.
90% of the coffins that are cremated in our facility have combustible handles made of plastic.
talk about coloured smoke. A question that I didn't know about, but that was talked about. Tattoos.
Yes?
Apparently, doesn't something happen when people have lots of tattoos?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
tell me, Tim, what happens?
Yeah, I have to admit that one of my most amazing experiences was cremating a gent here, and I knew him. He was a tattoo artist. He was covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
And at the end of his cremation process, at the end of the cycle, when I've opened the door to remove the cremated remains,
Yeah.
there was a purple flame of a colour like I couldn't even explain to you, and I would
Wow.
assume that that's the
Ooh.
ink on fire, but it was this purple,
Wow.
purpley orangey
Uh-huh.
flame. It was amazing. Yeah. So
That's
cool.
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the cremation, what actually happens?